not that hard. Like, it's literally very easy to come study here in China. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If it's your first time here, thank you so much for tuning in. This video has to be the most requested video since I started my YouTube channel, and in my introduction video I did mention that I was gonna make this particular video, so here it is finally. If you're new to my channel, my name is Siphosami, Sammy if you'd like, and I'm studying pharmacy right here in China. In this video I'm going to be telling you guys how you can also apply to come study here in China. I'm going to be answering all your questions, all the questions that you might have about the application process to come study here in China for university, be it for your bachelor's, your master's, your PhD. I got you, okay? I'm going to be answering all the questions that you might have, but before I do that, I need you guys to hit that subscribe button. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and do make sure that you turn on your post notifications. That's so that you get a notification every time I post. So without further ado, we're going to get right into this video. Okay guys, so the first thing I need you guys to know is it is not that hard. Like, it's literally very easy to come study here in China. It's not that difficult. Don't panic. Don't be scared. You can do it. Like, if you set your mind to it, you can do it. I'm gonna walk you guys through all the steps that you need to know for you to be able to apply. The first one is you have to choose the right degree program you want to come study. Make sure that whatever program you want to study is in the language you want to study in. In China, you can study in either Chinese or in English. Some schools have the English and some don't, so you can find a school and you think, okay, I want to go to this school, but then you want to study electrical engineering, for example. That school can be offering electrical engineering only in Chinese, so you need to make sure that whatever program you want to study is offered in the language you want to study in. Personally, about languages, it's all up to you, to be honest. If you want to come and study in Chinese, it's probably to your benefit if you're thinking about staying to actually work in China, because everything here is Chinese. It's China. So if you're thinking about coming to study here and probably potentially thinking of working here, then it would probably be a good idea to study in Chinese. But there are also so many good schools now that offer their degree programs in English. If you want to study in English especially, you need to make sure that that school is accredited internationally. Do you potentially plan on staying in China after graduation? You probably need to study in Chinese. But I'm not saying that if you study in English, that chance is not there. It's definitely there. It's all up to you. There's so many programs to choose from. So make sure that you choose the right degree program that you want to do. Check whether it's provided in English or in Chinese, which leads us to our second point. You need to choose the right university for you. You need to choose the right Chinese university that you want to come study at. Now, you need to know that China is big, guys. This place is huge. There are over 662 cities in China, guys. So in turn, there's so many universities that you can choose from. But I need you guys to think about what university would suit you. What kind of a person are you? Where would you thrive better? For example, consider the location. Are you a person who would thrive better in a bigger city or a smaller city? Think about the size. Are you a person who would thrive better in a class with 300 people or a class where there's like 20 of you? Or, you know, those things are all things that you should consider when you're picking the right university for you. And the most important is you need to make sure that your university is accredited. Guys, I cannot stress this enough. Make sure that the university you want to apply at is accredited. That means the university you are planning to study at is recognized everywhere else in the world. It would be a big waste of time if you came all the way here to study for 4 or 5 years only for you to graduate, go back to your home country or go to another country where you want to work, and then they tell you they don't recognize the school, they don't recognize your degree because of the school you studied at. So make sure you check all of that, guys. For example, if you're a medical student, you can Google all the schools here in China that are recognized by the World Health Organization. I'm going to leave a small screen recorded clip right here, but there's a list of all the medical schools in China that are recognized by the World Health Organization. Same as pharmacy students, for example. I'm not sure about engineering and all the other disciplines, but I'm sure there's a way to check if the university you want to study at is accredited. And guys, I cannot stress this, it is the most important thing, because there are so many schools here and some of them are not accredited. I wouldn't want you to come here and waste your time. So yeah, you need to take that into consideration. The third point is your qualifications. Now, there is this misconception that China is a place that you can come to even if you have very bad grades. Guys, I'm here to dismiss that assumption. I mean, it is true for some schools, but let me tell you something. If you want to study at a good school, at a school that's accredited, at a school that is recognized everywhere in the world, then obviously standards are going to be higher. You cannot have all D's or all fails and expect to come to China and get into a good school. That is not true. That is very unrealistic. But like I said, there are so many schools here in China, like a lot, and some of them are not accredited. Some of them are just looking for foreigners just so they can, because also there's rankings for Chinese universities here in China, like within China, and a school is better ranked if they have more foreigners. So some schools will accept everyone and everything as long as it's a foreigner, as long as they're increasing the number of foreigners at their school, which is why I said that it's very important to check the accreditation of the school. But yeah, you need to make sure that your qualifications match the requirements of the university. For example, in my school, if you want to come and study pharmacy or medicine, you need to have mathematics, chemistry and biology, among other courses. Now, people are different. For example, South Africans study matric. We in Zimbabwe study A-level. Some people study AS and A-level or IBs. But then at the end of the day, you need to check what the school requires. Do your qualifications match that of the school? If they do, then you can go ahead and apply. If they don't, you can look for another school that matches your qualifications. And if you're coming here to study masters, of course, you need to make sure that you have a bachelor's degree. You need to make sure that your qualifications, your grades, your GPA match the requirements of the school you want to study at for your masters or your postgrad. And then we're going to move on to number 4, where to apply. I'm going to cover the 5 most common ways. The first one is to apply through an agency in your country. I'm sure in most countries now there's so many agencies that are offering you guys the opportunity to apply here in China. But you need to be very, very careful, guys. There are so many scammers. Like, people are scamming people. People are stealing money. People are, the world is turning you to a bad place. But my point is, if you do apply through an agency in your country, make sure that agency has a good reputation. Do a background check. Ask them how many students they've applied for. If you can get contact with some of those students, ask them how the application process was. Were they legit? Did they get them into the school they said? Because I'm going to tell you what some agencies do, yeah? They will tell you, okay, we can get you into school A or B in China, give us this, blah, 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 and then they'll charge you $1,000. You give them that money and then they can tell you that, oh, you were applying for your own scholarship. So then you give them money, then they tell you, oh, it's a full scholarship, blah, blah, blah. You get ready, you come to China, you get to the school and they tell you you need to pay the fees. And you're like, when I applied through the agency, they told me it was a full scholarship. There's so many cases like that, guys, like all the time that's happening. So you need to be very careful about these agencies. Make sure that the agency, if you're going to apply through an agency in your country, make sure that it has a good reputation, it's well known, and make sure that you don't get scammed. Be very careful. The second way you can also apply is through an agency here in China. Also, there's so many agencies here in China, and the 3 most common ones being the KUKAS, KUAS, and SIKAS. I'm going to leave, those are abbreviations, and I'm going to leave it on the screen. But they have websites. You can go on to www.kukas.co.cn. I'm going to leave everything on the screen so that you can check that out. But those are agencies that are here in China. They can help you apply and they're legit. So you can be sure that you're going to get your application in time, and then they're going to help you get your admission and everything. The third way, which you can also apply, is by yourself. Like, you can actually apply by yourself, guys. If you identify whatever you want to study, you identify the school you want to study at, you can just go on that school's website. Most schools nowadays have a website, and they even have an English side to it. So you can go on the school's website, check out the application process. It's usually everything is listed there. Check out what you need to do and complete the application yourself. You can totally do it. It's really not that hard. The fourth way you can apply is by a friend. If you know someone who's already in China, they can help you apply. For example, how I applied. My mom's friend's son was here in China and he applied. He processed all my papers for me. He helped me out. So that can be a great way for you to apply. You know someone in a university that you want to study at, you can talk to them, ask them if they can help you push your papers, help you with everything you need to know about the school and everything that you need to know concerning the application process. They can help you out. The fifth way you can also apply is through a student agencies. Now, so many students here in China who are currently studying are opening up their own agencies. I know some myself, some very good ones, for friends, for colleagues, people I live with here in China. So many people are opening agencies, which is similar to like the agencies back home or the Chinese agencies here. What they do is they offer you services where they can help you apply, take you through the process of selecting your school, selecting the program you want to study at, and they apply for you. And obviously you need to pay an agent fee. That's one thing I forgot to mention. When you're using an agent, obviously you're gonna need to pay an agent fee. But again, guys, you need to be careful. Some of them are charging ridiculous amounts. I've heard of people who paid 5,000 US dollars just for an agent. Like, come on, that is crazy. You need to be careful. It's not that expensive to apply here. Make sure that your agent or whoever does not scam you into paying so much money, because it's not expensive to come study here. It's not. It's really not. And like I said, if you do it by yourself, you actually figure out that it's very inexpensive. Application fee is usually 200 to 600 RMB. I'll leave the conversion on the screen, but that's usually, for most universities, that's the range. So agencies that charge 5,000, that's crazy. So you need to be careful about that. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the documents that you're gonna need in your application. Now, every school differs. Every school has different requirements, but the general ones I'm going to leave right here on the screen, so you can pause this video and check out these documents. You're going to need a health certificate. Now, you're going to be required to do some medicals. They're going to give you a list of all the medical procedures that you're supposed to get taken. You're going to need that. You're going to need a police report, a criminal. If you're planning to come and study here for the fall semester, that's September, October intake, the deadlines are usually by the 15th of May. For the very good schools, the deadlines are usually earlier, so that's like around the 15th of May, and then some schools carry on up to around 15th of June, and some, I heard some, carry on until July. So yeah, just make sure that by May, I would say by May, make sure that you've applied, you've secured, maybe not secured because we won't get a reply in May, but make sure that your application is in by around May and June. 15th of May for most schools, and some schools 15th of July. And if you're planning to come here for the autumn semester, the deadline is usually 15th of January. That's the March intake. March intake is also usually for language. So if you're planning to come to study in China, some people who want to study in Chinese usually come here earlier and then take the language course in March, take the language course and then be able to study their degree in Chinese. But then some people also just come to study Chinese and then still go on to study in English, because it's for your benefit. If you speak Chinese, you're gonna live better in China. Like, literally everything here is Chinese, guys. Everything. I remember the first time I got here and I'm looking around, I'm like, all I see is characters. There's no English. There is English in some parts, but then mostly it's in Chinese, so it's better. I would advise people to come in the autumn semester, that's in March, and then you can study Chinese for a few months, and then you can start school in the fall semester. Okay guys, now I'm going to tell you the process after your application is in, you've identified your program, you've identified your school, you've applied. what you need to do now is you need to wait for your admission letter. So once your admission letter is in, they'll send you what is called the JW202. That's the most important document. That's what you will need to go and apply for your visa. That's what you will take to the embassy to go apply for your visa. Now, what I need to tell you guys is once you get your JW202 and you go to the embassy, they will give you an entry-exit visa only. That is the mistake that most people make when they come here. The visa that they give you in your country is only for entry and exit. Once you get here, you need to apply for the residence permit. This entry-exit visa is only valid for 30 days, guys. So many people have made this mistake, and I'm here to tell you guys not to make the same mistake. When you come to China, you're supposed to go through the process of applying for the residence permit. Now, what you're going to need is you're going to do the medical processes again. They're going to give you a list of all the medical procedures that you're going to have to go through. In my city, for example, that costs about 250 yuan. So you need to come prepared for that, to take those medicals again in a Chinese hospital. So you're going to have to do, and for most universities, they have a specific hospital that they will refer you to. Like in my school, there's a specific hospital that we go to for this process, and then after that they give you a form that you're going to take to apply for a residence permit. However, if you're coming to study the Chinese language for 6 months, that's in the autumn semester, your entry-exit visa is for 6 months. So you don't need to apply for residence permit if you're only coming to study for that 6-month period of studying Chinese. But if you're gonna come here for 4 years or 5 years or however long your program is, you need to get the residence permit. Do not stay, just come to China, you sit in your dorm and you think it's done. It's not, because once your 30 days are over, you're gonna be required to leave the country. And if you don't get a residence permit, you're gonna be fined. And it's a lot of money, so you don't want to get yourself in that kind of trouble. And usually they will give you a year or a year and a half of the residence permit. That means every year you need to renew your residence permit. You also need to come prepared to pay for the residence permit. In my city, it costs 850 yuan. I'm not sure about other cities. You need to check, but make sure you come prepared for that, guys. When I came, I didn't know that. I didn't do my research. No one told me. The guy who applied for me didn't tell me all of this. So you need to come prepared for all those extra costs. Your medicals especially, and your residence permit. 850 in my city. I'm not sure about other cities, but I'm sure that's the range. Just carry 1,000 yuan to be safe. I'm gonna leave conversions to US dollars on the screen, but just have 1,000 yuan set aside for that. I think that's all I have to share. That's all I have to say about how you can apply to come study here in China. If I left out anything, or if you still have questions, please do not hesitate to leave your questions down in the comment section below. I will try by all means to respond to each and every question. And you guys let me know what other videos you would like to see, what other videos you'd want me to do. Any questions that you have, do not hesitate, guys. You can reach out to me in the comments. You can reach out to me on my social media. I'm always here to help you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope I've been helpful. If you're planning to come study in China, all the best. It's really not that hard, and all the best in choosing your school, all the best in the whole process. It will work. Simple, period. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to give this video a big fat thumbs up. Watch out for the rest of the episodes of this Moving to China series. Make sure that you're subscribed, and please make sure that your post notifications are on. That's the little bell, guys. It's so important because that's the only way you can be notified when I post a video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you. See you in my next video. Bye.
Table and you learn to be right.